The Virtual Boys have been playing Nintendo since they were little. These 60 plus combined years of experience have made them experts in the field. Or at least they sure think so. Join them this week as they talk about something from the wonderful world of Nintendo. Listening to the Virtual Boys podcast, a Nintendo podcast about Nintendo things by Nintensity. This podcast is done by four friends that talk about anything and everything Nintendo. Check out the website at nintensity.com and be sure to follow us on social media. Be sure to subscribe and share the show with your friends. Oh, of course, enjoy the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Virtual Boys podcast, a Nintendo podcast about Nintendo things. This is episode number 105. I'm your host, David. News, if unreported, has no impact. Accompanied with James.
Thank you!
Yeah, we're the only ones here this week, which is kind of a bummer because we're now 3 years old. our podcast, I mean, not us. We've celebrated our third anniversary. And, to celebrate that, we've been meaning to coordinate some cool episode where all four of us get together and maybe talk about how far we've come or something like that. But we'll just have to let that one wait since James and I are the only ones here. Hopefully you heard the new introduction theme that Skylar wrote. He worked really hard on that. So you can tweet at him. He doesn't have a Twitter. Never mind. Go to his SoundCloud. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, before we get started, I just want to remind you to check out our Patreon page. These episodes are going up early, and you can check that out at patreon.com/Nintensity. And if you want to talk about this episode with us, head to nintendo.city/Discord and join our Discord server. Now for the news. So, there have been a couple of cool things happening in the world of Nintendo news. The first has to do with the Switch and free-to-play stuff. Now, this isn't the most direct confirmation of this, but it seems that free-to-play games will still be available to play for free without a Nintendo Switch Online account. This comes from a little piece of fine print in games on the eShop that do require the Nintendo Switch Online account or subscription that says, from the full launch of the Nintendo Switch Online membership service in 2018, online play requires a paid membership. What's interesting about this is that it is not included on a bunch of the free-to-play games that are already released on the system, such as Paladins, Fortnite, Pokemon Quest, Dawn of the Breakers, Fallout Shelter, Galaxy Variant S, Zaccaria Pinball, the Pinball Arcade, Kitten Squad, and Pinball FX3. Wow, there are 3 pinball games on that list. Interesting.
Hey man, online pinball is lit.
How do you even do that? Is it like online leaderboards that they're talking about will still be free?
Probably.
Or do you actually go head to head with pinball?
Like I don't know, what would you do as the ball? Maybe there's something, I don't know, like some weird
like you take
Japanese
turns,
game out there.
Yeah. Maybe you take turns and like one of the players is like bumping the table certain directions or something while the other guy plays.
Like I could see someone being like the flippers, like that's an easy one, but what do you do as the ball? You just get hit everywhere? Like you gotta have like some sort of powers or something like that.
I have no idea what you actually do with the stuff online. Clearly we have not played those pinball games, but
it's probably leaderboards like you said.
Yeah. But the biggest stuff here is definitely Paladins and especially Fortnite. Fortnite's one of the biggest games of maybe all time, definitely this year. So the fact that it doesn't have this like statement on it means that we're pretty sure that you'll still be able to play Fortnite for free, because you can play Fortnite for free on your PC. So it's like maybe they worked out some sort of deal with Nintendo. I don't know. But at the same time, it almost feels like a loss for Nintendo, like not requiring this. But who knows? Maybe they just want to be chill since, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope they want to be chill because, free to play, it's not really free to play if you have to pay for the internet.
Right.
But then again, you're paying for the internet for everything else. So I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what's going to go down here. the interesting thing I was looking at these titles, none of them are Nintendo except for Pokemon Quest. But even that is Game Freak technically, and the Pokemon company. But the Pokemon company, Nintendo's part of Pokemon. Anyway, it's so I wonder if it has something to do with the fact that they're not like directly Nintendo. But then again, this statement is on games that are not even, you know, Nintendo licensed games or whatever, you know?
Right.
So yeah, so it could be that once this online service comes out, yeah, I mean, you'll be able to play these games for free with no worry. And even if it's like a free to play Nintendo game, like I guess technically Pokemon Quest, you'll still be good to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, what strikes me, especially about Fortnite, is, you know, the cross gameplay where you can play with, you know, pretty much anyone else in the world if you enable that setting. So I imagine that that's outsourcing to Fortnite's actual servers, and we know they make plenty of money to keep those alive and still turn a profit. But what's curious is that Minecraft, a game that does have crossplay, has this statement in it as well. So it makes me like curious if, you know, Nintendo just hasn't required them to put the statement out yet, or if it really is going to be a free to play thing. I don't know. But then again, Minecraft also isn't a free to play game. You buy the game or have your account. Right. So I don't know. It's interesting to see how this will play out. I think it's a smart move on Nintendo's part, you know, just as like a whole idea on the free to play. It's really enticing to have Fortnite on the console. So much so that I think it's Nintendo of France or somewhere in Europe. They're including like little stickers in the bottoms of the Switches now that say download Fortnite for free on this console or something like that. So I don't know. Maybe it's helping sell the system a little bit. You know, you get the Fortnite machine.
Maybe, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if this game is huge in Europe as well. I don't know for a fact, but they tend to like Xbox more than, you know, Sony and Nintendo. Yeah. And I mean, at least sales wise. And so a game like Fortnite, you know, where it's a shooter game, among other things. Yeah, I mean, totally can see that doing really well, and I can see why they would want to put that sticker on there. But it would just make it even better if you didn't have to worry about paid online. You just play for free.
Right, exactly. We'll and we know that Sony isn't playing nice with Fortnite right now. There's no crossplay, and they really don't want you to use your Fortnite account anywhere but the PlayStation. Like it's locked out on Nintendo and stuff. It's just fascinating what they're actually doing. I mean, and they have every right to do it. You know, it's their system. It's just nice that Microsoft and Nintendo have been really chill about that. Yeah. I mean, I know Fortnite is still hugely popular for like, you know, 14 and 15-year-olds and whatever other age groups actually playing it that's watching it on Twitch. I'm pretty sure it's just an army of 14 and 15-year-olds. But yeah, I don't really have a huge interest in playing Fortnite. I've picked up a game or two is all. Sometimes I'm like, I catch a glimpse of a stream or something on Twitch, but anyway, it doesn't super interest me, so this list doesn't really impact me for you to play. For Splatoon, I'm going to have to still, you know, buy the yearly subscription.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it doesn't make difference no matter what game is on here, even if it's a game I really want to play, because I'm already going to be buying the online membership, you know? But for those who are kind of like maybe in a pinch money-wise, I don't know how you afforded a Switch. No, I'm just kidding. You never know. You never know people's financial situations. But you know, there's some people who won't be purchasing the online, but it's still nice to have these options to play with other people for free, especially like you said in a big game like Fortnite, and I guess even Paladins in some cases. So yeah, I think it's a good move by Nintendo, and I hope it's not like a temporary mistake or a temporary thing. So, but we'll see going forward.
I mean, Paladins is the closest you're going to get to playing Overwatch on the Switch. So
pretty much. I don't see Blizzard moving it anytime soon.
No, it's a pretty technically challenging game, and I don't see them wanting to invest any time in putting it on the Switch.
Nah.
Plus, it's been out for a while now, so who knows what their plans are moving forward beyond adding more characters and having people buy loot box upon loot box upon loot box. So yeah, that's the Nintendo Switch Online and the free-to-play situation. Hopefully it's not a mistake. Do you want to take the next piece of news we have to discuss, James?
Oh, sure. So Spyro Remastered digital download, excuse me. Across all systems, the Spyro Remastered physical release will only have the first game on the disc, or I guess cartridge, if we're talking about the Switch. Although that still hasn't been like confirmed, but there's been so many leaks and like
it was like
hints
leaked on the official and it was like leaked on the official Activision website or something like last month. So I don't know.
They were the leak was so certain it put Nintendo Switch twice. I don't know why, yes. but it did. Anyway, only the first game will be on there. You have to digitally download, through the internet, the other two games. So fans have mentioned that they're probably doing it because they're using a smaller disc in order to save money. Others have mentioned that Activision really sucks at optimization, which is a truth. So it's a bummer. But another reason could be it's a way to release the games like staggered. And then since they have had to send any physical ones immediately to the publisher to continue working without pushing back the release date. I'm of the mindset that this is probably the one I'm more the mindset of. It's like we didn't have enough time to put it all on one disc. So in order to not push the release date back, we're going to have it a digital download kind of a thing. And I really don't think it's that big of a deal. Granted, I probably wouldn't have had a cow if they had to push it back in order to do this. And especially, I wish they would explain. Sometimes publishers don't explain why they have to push back a release date or something like that. If they explain that, maybe they get some flack from, oh, you can't optimize anything. But I mean, there's people are always going to complain, but you're going to save yourself a world of trouble from putting it all on one disc and not having people to download it, But now you're in the situation where people are complaining. Here's my thing. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Granted, they should have pushed it back, but as long as you have the internet, the game comes to you, and then you have that game till it's in your Switch save data, or well, I guess technically PS4 or something else, but it's in your system save data, right? And I don't think it downloads onto this disc or the card. I don't think that's how it works. Maybe it does.
No, it goes straight to the console. It goes straight to the console.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, I was right. It goes straight to the console. So it's there. I mean, yeah, so your console blows up, you don't have it anymore. It's the apocalypse. You're probably doing other things more than just, playing video games, fighting off zombies and whatnot. So I honestly, I don't understand why this is such a big deal. I mean, maybe years later when they stop this service of being able to download the second and third game, and you're like, oh, I wish I could download it for my PS4 mini. I don't know. It doesn't. What do you think? What do you think?
I don't think it's a huge deal either. I mean, what's really interesting is that they managed to fit all three Crash games onto a single disc or cartridge in the case of the Switch. So maybe some of the outrage is aimed towards that. Like you got a whole trilogy of Crash games on one release. Why do we have to download all these Spyro games? But then I remember seeing like the trailer for the Spyro release, and somebody did a side-by-side comparison. The games look like they're brand new. Like they built them from the ground up. It's not like a retexturing or even like importing the same level data, as far as I can tell. It's not, Kingdom Hearts 1.5 Final Mix or, some of these other remasters that we've gotten that are in HD. It looks gorgeous. Like everything looks absolutely awesome. So that's where, I feel like some of it might have to do with optimization. Activision is really known for enormous file sizes for games. I can't think of any of them off the top of my head, but I know some of their games have exceeded like 40 gigabytes, which is enormous, especially for some of the smaller games they've made.
Well, that's true.
But I do think that it is a like they have to push the the final files or the semi-final data to the manufacturer so that they can put these games on the discs or cartridges if it's actually going to come to the Switch. And they have to get that done like sooner than later so that it's ready to hit the shelves right when the release date hits, which is next month, right?
I don't remember the release date, actually. I know it's fairly soon. I don't know if it's in September or October, but...
Either way, I think they needed a little more time on the second and third game, and by pushing it back, or by releasing just the first game on the disc, they have more time to put the final touches on these games without having to do a day one patch that significantly enhances the game. You can think of it as a day one patch to download the other two games.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I really don't understand the outrage here. Like,
yeah.
I'm not going to get this game now. Mike, why would I only pay for one game, pay that much for one game? You're paying for 3 games. You're just downloading the other 2. Oh, sure. Right. I mean, it's not like you're getting 3 you were never going to get 3 discs, which is annoying anyway.
Right.
I mean, so, I don't know. Maybe I'm just ignorant to the real problem here, but I just think people get a little too hung up about having everything physical and like literally everything physical.
Yeah. Plus, these consoles like the PlayStation and even the Nintendo Switch now, they're tied to your account too. Like, if you suddenly decide to put the game on a different console, you just revoke the rights of the last console. Or in Nintendo's case, it's a little more challenging than that. You like have to actually like report your Switch lost or something and talk to customer support, which is a really dumb way to do it. But like it's not like it's going to be gone forever if you break your console or something. As long as you have that account, the account knows you have the download associated to it, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, totally.
I mean, I don't know how this is going to work for pre-owned games. Like if you wanted to sell it, maybe they'll,
I didn't think about that.
They might have to like just say, oh, Spyro 1, that's all you get used or something. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's a thing. And so perhaps that's why people are complaining. But I mean, I don't know. I don't buy used games really. I buy new games at a discount. Like, used games are good for some, like going to GameStop and finding a rare gem or something like that, or checking on Amazon for something. But
or like retro titles
and retro titles, right? Unless you're trying to like build your collection or you're looking for this super rare game, there's no reason to buy used unless you're dirt poor. Sorry, not dirt poor. I mean, like, unless your wallet's
tight for money.
You're tight for money. Your wallet's feeling a little emptier than usual. So I guess I can understand that, and thank you for bringing that up. But for those who were gonna buy a day one and now they're not gonna buy a day one because of this, come on, grow up. It's not that big of a deal.
No, it's not. And it's Spyro. Spyro's a great series. I've never played it, but I know lots of people have.
Oh, I've only played the first one, but oh my gosh, I had so much fun with it. And you were saying, it looks gorgeous in HD. Like it's wow, it is quite the improvement. Like it's not like, how some like with Tyler Princess HD, we look at it and we're like, wow, this is exactly how I remembered it, but it's nothing like what it was, right?
Right.
And I heard some people say the same thing with Crash. And yeah, I wasn't ever attached to Crash or anything. But Spyro,
the only Crash game I played, sorry, just a random aside, the only Crash game I ever played on the PlayStation or PlayStation 2 was like the Mario Party version of Crash.
Oh gosh.
So that's what I remember from Crash. I never actually played the adventures. So anyway, sorry.
I really don't think they're that great. I know people are going to hate me, but just not my cup of tea. I don't think they're that great. But the Spyro I liked a lot more. But you look at the Spyro remakes and it's like, I feel like this is such a improvement from the original one. Like, it's not just what I thought it looked like when I was younger. It's even better, Just from the footage I've seen. Maybe it'll be different when I get my hands on it, but for now it's like, wow, like that is quite the improvement. And so I'm really liking it. So if you're interested, pick it up. make sure to have some space on your PS4 and hopefully Switch when they announce it for that. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so Spyro Remastered, it does sound like a lot of fun, and maybe I'll get it. We'll see. I have a gazillion games I have to play.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you.
So, all right, well, let's move on to the next piece of news that we have, and it's about Undertale, about our good skeleton friends. Nintendo of Japan confirmed this week on their website that Undertale will be launching, at least in Japan, on September 15th. They also confirmed a physical release of the game and a special edition that's confirmed for Japan as well, which has a 2 CD soundtrack with over 100 tracks between the 2 discs, commentary with Toby Fox, and a sheet music booklet in Japanese with 6 different tracks inside the music booklet. It also comes with a gold-covered brass musical locket, which is 14 carats. You can get one of 6 different lucky paper slips, or dog lucky paper slips, whatever that means, or one of 3 microfiber cloths, which is pretty cool. It's a huge special edition release, especially for an indie game like Undertale.
Well, now I'm pretty sure they had this special edition for the PS4, but I don't know if it was Japan exclusive. I don't know if it was Japan exclusive. I think it may have been worldwide for like PS4 or something like that. I'll double check that. You keep doing what you're doing. I'll double check.
Okay, I think, I just did a quick search. There is a collector's edition for PS4 and such. So I don't think it came with quite as much stuff. Well, it has the same story booklet.
I thought it looked the same.
And a couple of other things.
But maybe it's different.
Oh, yeah, it's exactly the same. Never mind. Sorry, it's not exclusive to the Switch. I totally missed that. But anyway, it's coming to the Switch, this special edition, at least in Japan. But there's no word on the rest of the world yet, as of the recording of this podcast. Maybe Nintendo's going to do something to us in the next couple of days. But what's interesting is September 15th, which is the release for this game in Japan. September 15th in 2015 was the release date of the original game. Like, the first original release was on September 15th, 2015. So people are speculating that the Switch release will be on the 3rd birthday of the game. As a simultaneous, celebration of Undertale, because I can't believe it's been 3 years.
Yeah, it feels like it's been longer, actually.
I know, right?
I know, that's kind of weird for me to say. I just feel like this fan base has just been here forever. Oh, wow. Only 3 years. I think
they started with the other things, and then they all centered onto Undertale.
On this.
They started with Homestuck or Homestruck, whatever that one's called, and then they all moved over to Undertale and have stayed in Undertale for a very long time.
Forever.
I love Undertale. I played it a lot. I did all 3 run-throughs minus beating the final boss in Genocide mode. That thing's just too hard, and I did not want to spend the time grinding away just to beat that boss. I watched the videos online, but I'm really excited for it to come out on Switch. I'll probably buy it again, just to have it, in handheld, to play it when I feel like it. It felt so much like a Nintendo game, probably because of its callbacks to Earthbound. That it feels like it belongs on a Nintendo console, and so I'm really excited to pick it up. Are you gonna get it? And finally play it?
I know. So, I mean, if it's September 15th, no. At least not that time. Because
that's right, because it's Torna and Valkyria Chronicles, right?
Right.
Those are the games that are coming out in September.
At least the big one. There may be one more I can't remember, but those are the 2 that are going to take a lot of time, and and I still have games I'm playing through now. So it's
right
for me, probably not the best timing. But I kind of want to try it. It's not the fan base that is turning me away from Undertale. Granted, I am not a huge fan of it, a fan of the fan base. It's kind of, it's a word. I don't understand it, and it scares me, so I'm going to burn it with fire. No, I'm just kidding. No, so it's not the fan base that's turning me off. it's the gameplay itself. So I've never gotten into Earthbound, and I do want to try it, but and I understand how quirky and funny and human the games can be, but at the same time, I look at the gameplay and just kind of like it doesn't appease me. Sometimes I look at older games, it's like I can't get through this because it's just so bland and lackluster, and maybe that's my spoiled mindset there. So Undertale, Undertale's newer, and the gameplay, the fighting is totally different, right? But yeah, that's like very much skill based. Like there's skill involved in other games, but it's like, what's the word I'm trying to look for? Dexterity. I don't. It's like you are actually dodging things. You're like, is it with the arrow key or with the mouse that you're moving?
Yeah, you do it with the arrow keys.
with the arrow keys. So you got to be good at that. And I struggle with platforming, let alone that. So I don't know how well. So I'm kind of like scared to do it. Long story short, I don't know which to play first, Earthbound or Undertale. So I'm gonna be thinking about that. But if Undertale releases at a time when there's like no games out on this or coming to the Switch and I don't have anything to play, I'll definitely think about it and maybe I'll pick it up. Sorry for a very long answer.
No, that's okay. I mean, it's not for everybody. I understand that. I totally get it. And the fan base has probably pushed more people away from the game than we'd like to admit.
I will say the dog, because I have seen some clips that what is it, the lucky dog, or I don't know, the dog with a really long neck is just hilarious. Like that concept just oh my gosh, just makes me just crack up so much.
In the game, if you choose the action pet to pet the dog, every time you pet him, his neck gets longer and longer.
It's like, what is going on?
It goes way up high and then it loops back down onto the screen. It's hilarious. And if you do it enough inside the pacifist run, there are all these like snowmen of dogs in the same area, and their necks all get super long too after that encounter. It's really funny. I love the game. It's a lot of fun. If you're interested in picking it up, maybe watch a YouTube video or something about like the idea behind it. Maybe not some diehard fan talking about it, but I think Donkey's video is good to show the humor of the game.
Yeah,
there might be some spoilers, so maybe don't watch the whole thing. But anyway, yeah, I love Undertale, and it changes up every time you play it because you can take different paths, and there are 6 total endings, I think, 2 for each of the different routes that you take, depending on the events that you do beforehand. So lots of replayability there. Really, really good, really fun. Of course, this has brought up the question, is Sans going to be in Smash Brothers or not? Because every time we talk about Undertale, that has to come up. I originally thought when this news came out that Nintendo was publishing the game in Japan, but that is not true. It's Hachinoyan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but they'll be publishing the regular edition, and Fangame Japan will publish the collector's edition. So it's not Nintendo. I thought it was, but should we see Sans in Smash? What do you think?
I just think there's other characters that deserve a spot. I mean, I know it's hard to say who deserves and doesn't deserve. But for a character who hasn't been on a Nintendo console yet and only is going to be soon, I just don't think that, 1, development time was right, and 2, I don't know, who knows if even Sakurai has played Undertale yet, if it hasn't even come out in Japan.
Yeah, good point. So
it probably has come out in Japan, but maybe not on the Switch. I don't know.
On the Switch, yeah.
So maybe he has played it, but I don't know. Who knows if he's played it. But you said Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight? Shovel Knight?
Maybe. I think that's a dream.
I think he's the best indie option. I doubt that they'll actually do an indie character.
Shantae fans would beg to differ. I'm not a Shantae fan, but
and they can fight me all they want, but I want Shovel Knight or the Enchantress, either one or both. Get them both in there.
I mean, Shovel Knight's more iconic. Come on.
Yeah, he is. Shield Knight too.
Shield Knight. I do like Shield Knight.
So, yeah, Undertale's coming to the Switch probably September 15th, or maybe not if we're wrong. We'll see. So, you want to cover the next piece of news, James?
Sure. So we have some sales figures.
Oh boy, time to talk about the financials.
Oh boy, the favorite
Everybody's
part.
favorite part.
So this wasn't like a meeting or anything. I think maybe they announced it to their investors or something, but they posted on like their financial website. Nintendo did, and so these figures come from there. So first we have Fire Emblem Heroes. Gotta enunciate. Has reached 400 million in sales worldwide. I mean,
that's so much money.
I mean, basically with every waifu that they make, it basically is $1 million. Like it's pretty amazing. Because otherwise, there's like 400 characters in the game. No, I don't think there's quite 400 yet. I think it's like close to 300. But it's astounding how much money it's making. And what's really crazy about the graph is that it compares it to Super Mario Run and Animal Crossing, and it's just like it's basically like if midgets were playing basketball against 7'4" or maybe midget's the wrong term, like very short people playing against 7'4" basketball player. That's how different the graph is. It's crazy. I mean, I know in the past they've had Pokemon Go up there, but maybe Pokemon Go is somewhat an anomaly, not anomaly, but its own thing that they didn't want to associate with it, and maybe make sure investors know that it's this isn't all us, because it's Game Freak and Niantic, yeah. So maybe that's why, I don't know. Either way, Fire Emblem Heroes, 400 million sales. Holy cow! I think this free to start or whatever they call it, system is definitely the way to go for them. Which is a shame because I do like paying for just once, but whatever. If I get to play a game for free, hey, and other people are gonna spend money on it, sure, go for it. But who knows what we'll see in the future. I mean, Fire Emblem does have the attractive characters and the fun, easy gameplay. I don't know if there's another Nintendo IP that can take advantage of that aside from potentially Xenoblade, but Xenoblade's such a young series that I don't see them doing that anytime soon. What do you think?
I don't know. We got that rumor forever ago that they were going to make a Zelda mobile game. I still think that would work really well.
Yeah.
So,
well, I was thinking because I mentioned or I was talking about what IPs could work with that, like Fire Emblem Heroes, and I was like, could they do a Zelda where you pull special characters, but everyone's gonna want to go for the Zelda ones, and they're just gonna have a million different Zelda costumes. It's like, yes, this one has a bigger butt than usual. Yes. I don't see that. I don't see that happening really. Maybe they'll have some sort of gacha mechanic in the Zelda mobile title, but that won't be the main pull, right. Like Fire Emblem Heroes.
Yeah. I mean, the blades from Xenoblade, but again, like you said, that's too young. I mean, there's Pokemon, but Pokemon already has a gazillion mobile games, and Pokemon Go is doing well enough that they probably won't try to get in on that space.
True.
I mean, Mario Run is just going to be Mario levels. There's not much that they can do with Mario. I can't really think of anything else unless, well, maybe F-Zero, but F-Zero's so beyond people's minds. I mean, with the different racers and stuff, there are quite a few of those guys.
That's true. And that could be an interesting gotcha thing they do there, but I think the IP is too
it's not strong enough to handle
right now. This. And you got the Mario Kart Tour coming out as well, so
right. I mean, so maybe they'll do some gotcha with the different racers in Mario Kart or something.
They may, but it probably won't. like maybe they'll have different kind of racers, but a lot of the gacha is going to be like, here's your tire or here's a bumper or something stupid like that. It's like, here's my cart. It's kind of a mismatch of all these sort of things, but it has really fast speed.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, one of my tires is made of wood, so what?
It's faster than yours. So I don't know. Like I think they're gonna look at Fire Emblem Heroes like, how do we do this again?
Yeah, no, and it's gonna be hard to figure out how to do it again.
Really?
It really is.
One last thing I'll say about this, sorry, is that
No, it's fine.
What was that game they're working with? The other studio for, it's like a mobile game and it's coming out in Japan first. Do you remember what it was?
I don't remember its name, but yeah, I remember what it looks like, but I don't remember its name.
I imagine they're gonna have a similar, gotcha pull kind of a thing where you try to summon heroes or whatever. So
it's an RPG that's anime based. Of course they are. It's got waifus.
Right. I mean, it totally. Like, there's no doubt they're gonna have something like that. So maybe that will happen, but the downside of that, they don't have the same attraction or connection that the Fire Emblem characters do. So there's that to factor in as well. But who knows? Maybe.
We'll see. We'll see what Nintendo ends up doing.
But it is printing money. Like, just
yes.
So moving on to something that is also printing money, but although maybe not as fast, is the Switch. Switch has almost sold 20 million units worldwide. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
But it has slowed down a little bit. Not to the worry of anybody, I don't think, especially as games start to keep coming. But I think the people who are worried or who have been oddly worried is the investors, because the stock has also gone down. It's a little lower than expected, but at the same time, while stock does matter, in retrospect, I don't think, as long as Nintendo makes money, what do they care?
Right. Like their stock was low during the Wii U and they still printed the Switch and it's awesome and the company completely recovered. So
right. So
it doesn't really matter.
Right. I think they'll be fine. I mean, we can look at the momentum slowing down and maybe have an issue there, but we have Pokemon Let's Go in November and Smash in December. So those are going to be two titles that hopefully sell really well and will sell Switch units, particularly Smash, because while Pokemon Go, there may be some sort of divide between fans, although I'm still certain that it'll sell well. I think Smash is probably universally praised at this point, that I think it's just going to sell gangbusters. I mean, I could be wrong, but I haven't. Besides the people complaining that it could be a port or whatever, I haven't heard anybody really complain about it.
No, yeah, absolutely. To put this more in perspective, I saw online a comparison to the PlayStation 4. So the Switch has been out about 15, 16 months now, and in the same time frame with the PlayStation 4 managed to get like 21 million copies or units sold in its first 15, 16 months. But you have to put that in the perspective that the PlayStation 4 launched right near Christmas. So that number was influenced by 2 holiday rushes and 2 holiday sales.
That's a good point.
The Switch has only had 1 holiday, season to go through. And it's like pretty close to the PlayStation 4 in the same amount of time. So, I mean, the PlayStation 4 is the most popular console on the market right now. And if the Switch is like following in its footsteps like that with only 1 holiday under its belt, I think we're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, I want to see. I think it will be truly interesting to see after 2 years. The 2-year mark, because they'll have the 2 holidays under its belt, and Smash will have come out. So I think that'll be a sure sign. Well, I mean, it's already a success, but it'll be a sign of, is it gonna be, is gonna replace the PS4 as top dog? But I don't think that really matters.
No, it doesn't.
In the grand scheme of things. I mean, I guess some people have a pride. I'm a Nintendo fan, and we're the best-selling console. I don't know. I mean, I don't think we need anything to puff our chests up about. But
no.
But it is cool. A cool statistic when something you love does really well, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like along with these Switch sales themselves, like Odyssey alone has sold 11.17 million units. Mario Kart 8 has sold 10 million units. Breath of the Wild has sold 9.3 million units. Splatoon 2 has sold 6.7. I mean, I don't know how this is possible, but 1-2 Switch has sold 2.5 million units. ARMS 2 million, Kirby Star Allies almost 2 million, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 almost 1.5 million. For such a young JRPG series, that's incredible. It sold more than Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which has 1.4 million. I mean, it's incredible. The software is doing so well right now. I mean, if you compare that to the Wii U, it's like, I think, Odyssey has sold 3 million units more than the Wii U's number one game, which was Mario Kart 8, that had 8.4 million units.
Which is the number 2 Switch game, by the way. That is just insane to me. Oh my gosh. How many of those people double dipped?
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has sold more on the Switch than it sold on the Wii U.
Like, how many of those are double dipped? But how many of those are them? But how many of those are new people as well? Because, not a whole lot of people bought the Wii U. So, I mean, oh gosh, that's just crazy to think about. And also crazy how popular Mario Kart is. I guess it's just such a accessible game to so many people.
And I'm sure a lot of families get it because it's like, oh, it's Mario Kart. Mario Kart's been good for years. So let's get it on the Switch.
It makes
Plus,
me wonder.
The Switch has the Joy-Cons with 2 controllers built in, so you can immediately share with a friend.
We can all play, and it makes me wonder how Mario Party will do, as well as Smash. Obviously, I mean, those are big party games. So, one has party in the title. So we'll see. A bad joke. Well, we'll see going forward. One minor tangent. About ARMS selling 2 million, which is good for the game. Someone on Twitter, I believe it was, I don't mean to at you, John Cartwright, who part of Game Explain. I think you can say because he says I don't think anybody can call ARMS a failure anymore since it's hit, or a flop since it hit 2 million. It's fair, you can't call it a flop, but I don't think you can call it a success either. This is not having the same impact as, say, Splatoon did. Like, this isn't the phenomenon that is, and you don't expect every IP to be like that. But I almost think ARMS is kind of going to be a one game series. Kind of. I don't know how much of a lasting place it has, and I know that's hard to hear for some ARMS fans, and I mean, I guess why not make a sequel to a game that sold 2 million? I don't know. I just don't see its lasting power. It doesn't really pull people back. But maybe that's my biased opinion or my biased observation. But that's what I see.
I mean, ARMS was fun for like the first 2 months when it came out for me, But then Splatoon hit, and it was like, see ya, ARMS. I'm sorry, but I'm going to play Splatoon now.
I mean, clearly there's a better of the two, and you can have your preferences. Some people would just prefer fighting.
Oh, for sure. Like
fighting. But I agree with you. If you like ARMS better,
that's fine.
I do think the Splatoon is a better developed and more appealing game. Like, there's more things to do in Splatoon.
And it is a much stronger IP.
Yeah, it is much stronger. It really is. And like I said, I don't mean to discredit anybody who enjoys the game, but it was so hard for me to get into. I honestly couldn't play more than 10 hours. Maybe I played 5. I can't remember, but it has its moments of fun, but I don't know if we can call it a success per se.
Yeah,
I think part of it.
I agree with that.
Yeah, part of it is the Switch itself. Like people just buy games because I got a Switch. Let's try these games out. Kind of a deal.
Right. Yeah. And it came out when the Switch was still really young. So like
True.
There wasn't a whole lot to get on the Switch at that point. Odyssey hadn't come out. Neither had, Splatoon. So it was like, yeah, let's pick this up so we have another game to play, with my family and friends. So
yeah, I mean, yeah. But if you disagree with me, like someone out there disagrees with me, or if John Cartwright happens to listen to this episode, which he never will, and you want to like yell at me for disagreeing with you, go right ahead. I would love to hear your arguments. But I don't know. Sometimes the sales don't tell the whole story is all I'm saying.
Nope. And you can send those comments our way by tweeting at us on Twitter at Nintensity. We'll take them there.
Please be gentle.
Gotta make those plugs every so often.
Every so often.
So yeah, that's the big news from Nintendo. Like, I guess these last 3 weeks, awesome sales figures. Undertale's coming out, Spyro being weird, and Nintendo Switch Online free to play stuff. So that's the news. Let's move into what we've been playing this week a little bit. I'll go ahead and go first. I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Go. It's kind of like the thing that my dad, sister, and I do for fun together now. Mm-hmm. We go out, we raid gyms, we take out gyms, we raid Pokemon bosses, and we do research and stuff. And it's just been a lot of fun to reconnect. In the last few months, month and a half, they've added features that really pulled me back in. I will admit that Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee kind of fed that fire in me of wanting to start playing Pokemon Go again, because it's got the connectivity stuff. But the way that they've overhauled gym fights and the way that they've added in raid bosses and daily quests and like weekly challenges and all this stuff, especially friends, has made it way more accessible and way more fun to play. I even joined a Slack community of over like 6,000 people for the area that I'm in, where we're constantly like saying, hey, there's a raid going down at this gym, and they'll drop like a Google Maps pin or something so we can all like head out and catch a Tyranitar or a Registeel together. It's awesome. It feels like I'm playing the game again. Like this is how
when
the game should have been when it came out. Yes,
yeah.
Exactly. So, and that just feels so good. This month is Raikou Month. When you finish your research every week, you have a chance to catch a Raikou, which is sweet. That's great. He's a legendary, and he's electric type. There aren't very many electric types in these first 3 gens that are powerful, so pretty cool. That's all. Pokemon Go has also fed into my other Pokemon obsessions. I got the itch one afternoon to start transferring all of my Pokemon up from like Ruby, Sapphire, Fire Red, Leaf Green, and so on, all the way up to Sun and Moon.
Wow. You're ready for next year then. I'm just kidding.
I know, right? But unfortunately, I don't have any of the black 2, white 2 games finished, so I can't transfer them up. They're all in stasis inside my Heart Gold copy right now. So I've got to hurry and blow through black. I don't know why I never got around to finishing them. So there's that. But I did manage to beat Pokemon Moon. I needed to really finish up my living dex, which is, having one of every single Pokemon in the Pokédex. I was missing a couple in the generation, and so I finally just blew through the rest of Moon. I realized that my team was very bad, the team that I was left with. I had a Wishy-Washy and... What else did I have? I had a Wishy-Washy and a Lycanroc that were both really weak and weren't contributing to the team. So I spent like 4 hours one night SOS battling to get a really decent Shelter so I could have a Cloyster. Nice. And SOS battling for a Trapinch so I could have a Flygon.
Ooh.
If you manage to do, I think it's 30 or maybe it's 40 or 50, I don't remember, different chains inside the SOS battling, your Pokemon are guaranteed to have at least 4 perfect IV stats. which is awesome. And
that's
there's like
awesome.
a 40% chance of a hidden ability. So I ended up having a pretty strong Cloyster and a pretty strong Flygon by the time it was done. And even though they were all totally underleveled, I traded them over to my Sun version, and I went through the Elite Four like 4 times with them and got them leveled up really fast because, experience boosts. So,
Yeah, sure.
But I'm loving Pokemon again. It's been a while since I've actually like really enjoyed playing Pokemon, and I'm happy to play it again. So.
But you enjoyed it when you were first playing Sun and Moon, yeah?
I played through Sun a ton. I played like 60 plus hours or something on there. Yeah,
I guess when we say a while, I guess it's just a year or a few months, Right.
Yeah, the game came out almost 2 years ago. So, and then, I got Ultra Sun, but I got really bored with that because I had gotten bored with Moon because I'd already played through the game, and so it was like, it's like basically the same thing. But no, I decided to finish it. It's still a really good game. It's not my favorite generation. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are still my favorite games in the Pokemon series. That probably has a lot to do with the nostalgia from Generation 3. But
I think when it comes down to your favorite Pokemon gen, a lot of it has to do with the memories you have with it, for sure. Couple things I'll say. I hate SOS battles. Okay, hate's a strong word. I use hate. If you haven't noticed, I use hate a lot, but I don't think I use it properly, or the way I use it is different than how a normal human being uses it. But anyway, I SOS battling, like, in concept, like it kind of sounds neat, but it's just so annoying. I guess it makes some things easier, like finding shinies or.
Oh yeah, chain shining is so much easier.
Chain shining, that's great. But finding these like specific rare Pokemons is such a pain in the butt.
Oh yeah, like Marini or however you pronounce it, or even like catching a Corsola. Like
that could be awful. A pain in the butt too. So, I would not be heartbroken if that is gone from the next game, which it probably will because they tend to change mechanics or gameplay features like that quite often. So that is that. And then the second thing I want to mention was just about Gen 5. We mentioned Black and White. I think the sprite work in that game just looks so good. I don't know, it's kind of random, but I remember when I first saw Sun and Moon. Not Sun and Moon, X and Y. I was kind of like, 3D, like, or the political, polygonal things. I really like the artwork they had going before, and just seeing them try to be, or making the move to that. Just I don't know, maybe it was a little disappointed, and they made it better in Sun and Moon. They look good. It's just. I do miss those sprites, and I think it was kind of artistic in a sense, but everyone's all into those realistic graphics and HD coolness. So whatever. But every time I see Gen 5, I just think, oh man, what a beautiful game.
Yeah. And then I've also been playing some Kingdom Hearts, but I won't talk about that. I finished the first game, Chain of Memories, 358 over 2 days, and I'm in the middle of Kingdom Hearts 2. So,
there you go.
But just chugging through Kingdom Hearts, I gotta get those done. I bought the whole collection, so I gotta do it.
Yeah.
Cool. So what have you been up to?
Yeah. So I've speaking of beautiful games, Octa Pet Traveler is a beautiful sprite / Unreal Engine 4 hybrid of a game. It's really gorgeous. But that's not even its strongest point. It's an incredibly addictive game that, while the story is not as congruent and overarching, whatever you pronounce that word, as I like, it's charming and just a blast to play. I think if you enjoy JRPGs, or if you enjoyed JRPGs from the SNES days, you'll really like this game. No doubt about it. Yeah, I guess in the definition of grindy, it can be a little grindy, but I feel like when I consider grinding is going out of your way to just battle a bunch of enemies, then coming back to an area so you can fight. But I haven't had that issue. Like, I make sure I battle as I go to place, And in that way that I feel like I'm getting to a destination, but I'm also getting experience. So when I reach my destination, you know, I'm not going to have an issue really with fighting the boss. And granted, there's still difficulty. There's still, okay, I got to make sure I do it in this order instead of messing up, you know, using this weapon instead or something, you know? So I think if you're afraid of the grind, just know that as long as you fight as you go to your destination, I think you'll be fine. Okay. I guess players play differently. Some people just like, I just want to get to the next point as quick as possible. Why am I dying all the time? Well, better go grind. It was like, well, maybe you should, you know, fight while you get there, you know, fight as you go, but to each their own style. And that's what's great about Octa Pet Traveler is that it lets you play as you want to play. You get to choose your heroes. You get to eventually choose some jobs. And it just, there's a lot of variety to it. And the game doesn't force you to play a certain way besides turn-based, really. Like, it's just, you know, you choose on your party and you choose how you win. And I think that's a reason why the story itself kind of suffers, or it's not like all one big story, is because, you know, the developers would have to plan for so many things. But for what it is and for the addictive game it is, it's great. It's amazing. And I think JRPG fans will love it.
Cool. I bought it. Well, I guess my mom bought it for me for my birthday. Oh. I played like 10 minutes of it and I didn't get hooked. Maybe I picked the wrong character to start with. I started with Cyrus.
Just 10 minutes? Cyrus is great.
I know. I'm sorry. I wasn't hooked. I didn't get to any of the battle stuff, and I guess I was interrupted by something that I had to do. So, okay. I'm sorry.
Well, no.
I'll play it. I promise I'll play it. I want to.
No, I'm not. I'm not like. Around to it. Yeah, I guess I've just got to. I understand like things get in the way or anything, but when you say you're not hooked, it's like, well, you haven't even. You haven't got to the game yet. Like, I know. You played the demo, didn't you, or did you not?
No, I actually didn't get around to that either.
Oh, okay. Well, there's that too, I guess. There you go.
Yeah, okay. So I will play it. I promise I will. I love these types of games. I really do. I haven't done it yet.
No, I get you. No
I got
rush.
obsessed with Pokemon and Kingdom Hearts. So that's okay though. I'm glad you are enjoying it though. I really am. And I know a whole lot of other people are really enjoying it too. So I can't wait to dig into it.
Some people don't.
Yeah.
That's their thing, and I don't want to force it. Yeah, they're lost. I don't want to force anybody, but I really do enjoy it.
We'll probably review it next week if I get around to it, and if Jordan and Skylar are able to join us, or we'll talk about something else. We'll see.
We'll see.
I'm not sure. That's kind of how it goes sometimes on this podcast.
We'll kind of play it loosey goosey. Who knows? Maybe Nintendo will drop a direct next week. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Smash will actually come out next week. They'll just release it way earlier than normal.
Yeah, I was just kidding. We're actually way ahead of schedule. So, how's next week sound?
Here it is. Well, I guess that'll do it for us this week, folks. Before we end the episode, just want to say thanks again for joining us. James and I had a good time talking about this Nintendo stuff with you. Come follow us on Twitter at Nintensity or even virtual_boys. We have 2 accounts. I don't know why, but we do. And let us know what you think about this stuff.
You can also come talk about Nintendo stuff on our Discord server. It's pretty fun. We've got some Nintendo fans eager to chat with you there. You can check it out at nintendo.city/Discord, and Patreon patrons on Patreon, they get access to a supporter-only chat to help us make decisions about the show, website, and much more.
Yeah, and speaking of patrons, I'd like to shout out to our patrons, Chris Chase, Ratmvp, MyEcho, and Joseph. Sorry, I had to pull up the list there. Thank you for your continued support of the show. If you want to help support the show and get early access to our podcast episodes and more, come to Patreon at patreon.com/Nintensity. And we're even going to be doing our mini episode or our micro episode right after this. That's where we're going. And we'll be talking about some Torna, the Golden Country, and our hype about that. So, again, you can get access to that by going to patreon.com/Nintensity.
Don't forget to check out our YouTube page. We have some awesome content on there. You can check out the most recent one, which was the Fire Emblem analysis trailer. You can see the little theories and things I found going on there, and I think it's a pretty good video. Not my best editing
it was
work.
really good.
There was one where it worked, like something happened, but then when I watched the video, the screen goes black. I was like, what in the world? So, but anyway, there's that one thing, and then I may have missed.
It was like a 30-minute long video. It's okay.
Yeah, it was a little too ambitious. We'll see if I ever do something like that in the future. But anyway, so go check that out if you haven't already, and give us a little subscribe. You can also check out the person who makes the music on SoundCloud. If you didn't know, that's Skylar, who's not here right now, but he made a new song for us that you probably listened to at the beginning, and he is our talented co-host. So you go check out his SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/Skytar with a 5 instead of an S.
And again, thanks for tuning into the Virtual Boys podcast this week. If we continue to use that name, we'll see. To help the show grow, we'd love to...
I was just kidding around, but I mean, we can change the name.
Well, we'll see. It's up in the air. To help the show grow, we'd love to have you leave us a review on iTunes, and of course, share the episode with your friends. And be sure to check out our website at nintensity.com. To learn more about this episode, you can find the show notes at nintend.city/EP105. That's enough of all of our self-promotion stuff. Thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
Goodbye, you good people.